Boom. It's a little after 20 hours, and I don't always come to you at this time, but duty calls. I remember years ago, Malcolm X once said that his father used to say that when the sun comes up, the rooster crows. Well, sun's up. So you got to do what you got to do. If you could do me a favor, guys, if you could just hop on here real quick and tell me if we're loud and clear up in here. Those are bars. Tell me if we're loud and clear up in here. Well, I'm over here at Simonson Building on plot number 85 located on Simon Mwewa Lane. Please tell me in the comments below if this broadcast is clear. This is what I want to hear from you. Let's throw down. Let's get into it. A couple of you are going to loud and clear. Somebody says, I was waiting for this. I'm glad you were. Nathan Zulu. Nathan, you're becoming a regular on SML TV, and I recognize you. I do. I recognize you. Thank you for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to spend a few moments with me here on SML TV. Those are bars. Guys, do me a favor. Please share this live if you can. You know, sort of send it out to people that you think would be interested in this conversation. As I said in my preamble, I don't usually come to you real late at night, but, you know, when I feel the unction, when I feel the prodding, when I feel the nudging, you know that word nudging in my heart, I feel a little bit of a pull string in my spirit to say something. The privilege that I have is that I can just turn on my lights, the phone, boom, go live, and a couple of people show up, and I'm always thankful that you do that. Thank you so much. And before I get into my little dissertation, I must mention to you here that tomorrow morning, in the next 6 hours, 8 hours, there's going to be an operation here in the CBD to move the street vendors from Simon Mwewa Lane into the new Simon Mwewa Market. Now, I know we've been talking about this for years, and it's been on the books for years. I mean, we've been saying this since 2019, 2020, actually as far back as 2018. We've been saying consistently, the market's going to be open soon. And unfortunately, we live in a country where when it comes to projects, especially market projects, they take longer than necessary. The answer has always been, and I've always believed this, I mean, I believe in markets that are built and constructed by government because those markets are highly subsidized and those markets are tailor-made for most of our people, the average person who cannot afford, $25 a square meter or $50 or whatever the hell it is. With government-funded markets, those edifices, those structures, those buildings are highly subsidized, and I'm so thankful for that. Many people don't realize that it takes less than 5 kwacha per day to operate in City Market. 5 kwacha per day, less than that, to get a stand in the market. I'm not talking about a little space on the floor, on the ground. No, I'm talking about within the market. There's a stand, you have access to clean water, toilets, you have shelter, you have access to electricity. If you want to plug in your kettle, your phone, boom. All of that for less than $5 a day. It's amazing. And I appreciate that. But from a commercial side, I believe that in order to get the markets ready, constructed on time, I believe that the private sector should handle that. I really do, because it just makes things more streamlined, quicker. Already you've seen the deal that Lusaka City Council made with some foreign entity. Munyale Market used to be just full of shacks. Well, the council said to this foreign entity, look, we don't have the money to construct a brand new building, but we own the land. So how about we lease the land out to you for more than 25, 30 years. You build the building, and then you just give us a cut of your revenue. I think it's a 60-40 sort of deal. I could be wrong on that, but I do know there is a deal where the council gets some type of stipend revenue from that deal. Now, it's not a perfect deal, but at least there's a building there. It's better than what was there before, which was just shacks, you know. And for a long time, we've been talking about the opening of this new Simon Mwewa market. And for the first time in years, there's a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. It reminds me of that old song by Sam Cooke. A change is going to come. You know that song? It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. I go to the movies. Ha, don't you get me started now. I'm gonna throw down, boy. I'll throw down right here. It reminds me of that. All right, so for the first time in a long time, we're going to see the market, life being breathed into the market. A lot of economic activity is going to happen here. The road, Simon Mwewa Lane, as you know, is going to be turned into a one-way street, which is going to be magnificent for this community. It's going to help us a great deal, and we're looking forward to this. Now, guys, let me just also mention very quickly, this has nothing to do with disenfranchising our citizens. In fact, if anything, this is going to advantage our people. The only thing with our people is that they have to be prodded, they have to be led. Jesus said, oh, you're like sheep that have gone astray. And if there's sheep on this planet, boy, it's Zambians. Sheep the hell out of it. You know, so the thing is, we need to be led. Our people need to be led. They won't do it on their own. You know, if you leave it up to them and you say to them, well, you know, out of your own volition, you get your stuff and you move into them. Oh, no, honey. They will sit there till the sun comes down. They will sit there till kingdom come. They will sit there till rapture. So you have to prod them. You have to bring in the police and bring in council personnel to come in and say, hey, look, here's the way. Okay, you can't sit here. You have to go in there. Of course, there'll be a bit of whooping and hollering and complaining. They don't want to lose their spots on the street, but they have to move from the street so that the street is functional. The functionality, guys, the rule is simple. The city comes first. Everything else falls into place when you put the city first. Jesus said, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and then all these things shall be added unto you. Do A first before B, C, D, and E fall into place. You got to do A. You can't get to C if you hadn't done A. The moment you begin to ignore A, you can forget about B, C, D, and F and everything else. Okay? The key, do A first. Then all these things shall be added unto you, Jesus said. Don't get me started now. I'll preach that. I'll preach it. I will. All right. What are we talking about? Guys, I got to tell you, GBM, Geoffrey Wadewamba, as many of you know, back in October of 2024, GBM was sentenced to 5 years in prison with hard labor for 13 different counts, you know, money laundering, obtaining money, using his influence in the position that he held, a bunch of other, you know, bunch of stuff. You guys know the story. And so he was sentenced to 5 years in prison. When that happened, a lot of people didn't think that it could happen. But, you know, we're living in a different time now. Things are different. Things have changed. And we are living in the dispensation of accountability. Okay, now, of course, this administration is not perfect. Okay, none ever is. Okay, like somebody once said, that there's no such thing as perfect people, only perfect intentions. Okay, the intent is there to clean up house, okay? The intent, the will is there to do it. And when he was sentenced, there were people that were in disbelief by virtue of the fact that, you know, GBM held very high profile positions in government. And the signal was sent out quite clearly and quite vividly that there are no sacred cows. In Zambia, we say there are no sacrificial lambs. That's a very Zambian way of saying it. There are no sacrificial lambs. Yeah? There are no sacred cows. It's sacred. There are no sacred cows. And that message was quite clear. And when GBM went to prison, and guys, I must be full disclosure, I must let you know that GBM is someone I know and I've known for many, many years. So I'm not going to sit here and sort of disparage him. Okay, what happened, and he landed in the position that he was in through his doing. And it was a direct consequence of choices that he made, actions that he took. Okay, every single one of us are out here on the street trying to live our best lives, and every so often we miss the mark. And when we do miss the mark and we are found wanting, and the law is stepping in front of our doorstep, darkening the door of our entrance, and they knock on the door and we answer it, and they find us wanting, we suffer the consequences. We suffer the brunt. We bear the brunt of our actions. Every single one of us do that. Okay, so he bore the brunt and he was sent to prison as a direct consequence of the choices that he made. Now, while in prison, it came out quite rapidly that he was unwell. And this made the news, quite stringently. The news broke out that, you know, GBM was sort of on the verge of catastrophe in terms of his health, and that there was this plea for him to seek medical attention outside of the boundaries of Zambia. And there was this talk that his request to leave the country had been denied. But here's the thing, guys, as a prisoner, you don't have the same privileges that a free person has. And let's be clear about that, because I think sometimes in Zambia we lose sight of that. We sort of lose sight of the fact that a prisoner, a convict, doesn't have the same privileges that a free person has. They are sort of, in a sense, they're constrained by their conviction. Okay, so it's disingenuous and it's ungenuine for Zambians to demand something that is very difficult to attain, which is, you know, he couldn't leave the country at the drop of a hat. He couldn't seek external medical attention anytime he chose. Why? Because he's a convicted, he's a felon. Okay, so anyway, aside from that, there seemed to be this very clear clarion call, okay, to have him, you know, a clarion call to grant him, I'll say it right in a moment, to grant him permission to seek external medical attention. And my understanding was that was granted. It was granted, but the cherry on top, and this is something that the Zambian public did not expect to happen, is that a few hours ago we learned that the president has actually pardoned, in a sense. Please tell me in the comments if that's the correct terminology, because, you know, if it's not, one of you is going to correct me. You always do on Facebook. No, well, it's not pardoned. That's not the correct terminology. Well, my understanding is that the president has pardoned or released GBM. He could go home, and that came as a big surprise, a pleasant surprise to many. You know, guys, you must understand this. When you are behind bars, when you are in prison, there's something in you, even though there is hope that you may get out, there's something in you that fears the worst, that possibly you will not get out. You know, that's the thing about incarceration, is that And everything that you do in prison, everything that happens to you in prison, someone else is in control of. You are in control of nothing. And that's the thing about it, you know. And so there was this very loud call for GBM to be released, and thankfully, graciously, the president released him. Now, right before his release, there was this political angst because of Edith Nwakwi's demise. And something that we as Zambians need to begin to understand is that when a person has a court case that crisscrosses or coincides with the health challenge, that has nothing to do with the law. The law doesn't care about your physical state. If you are going to court for theft and you happen to have a heart condition while you're going to court for theft, the law is not the cause of that heart condition. I'm just giving you an example, okay? Just as an example. If you have a toe that begins to throb because of an injury you sustained as you are going to court, the court doesn't care about your injury. The court only seeks justice. And so if your ailment, your sickness, your frailty, your infirmity happens to coincide with you going to court, it has nothing to do with the court. This is what people were saying about Edith Nwakwi. Because, you know, some of you Dwanzis were, no, HH killed Edith Nwakwi. No, he didn't. Edith Nwakwi had an ailment. She was not well. And it just so happened that her ailment happened simultaneously whilst she was going to court. So her ailment, when she succumbed, when she died, she didn't die as a direct consequence of going to court. No, she died because she wasn't well. Her ailment simply coincided, simultaneously occurred when she was going to court. But in Zambia, it's very convenient to blame the head of state. No, ni wa mwipe. Edith, nga mwalimu tuma on time, kuchite, ngali chita survive. Ni wa mwipe. That's a very archaic oversimplification of the matter. And you know it. You know, those are politics. Those are guerrilla, gutter politics. And they serve no purpose in this dispensation or the next. Completely irresponsible statements when you say HH was the causer, was the catalyst of Edith Nwakwi's demise. That, brothers and sisters, is erroneous. It is misguided, misinformed, foolish, to say the least. Foolish. Don't make such statements just for your own political aggrandizement. No place at all. So here's the thing, guys. While we are thankful that GBM, and really, he really should thank the president, because the president has the power to pardon. Ooh, that's good there, boy. The president has the power to, that's 3 P's right there, boy. The president has the power to pardon. And when he uses that power and he bequeaths mercy on you and says, you know what? I've seen your plight. I know what you're going through. God knows I've been there. I'm going to let you go home. The only thing people should be doing now is simply saying, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for your benevolence. Thank you for your mercy. Not that he's God. I'm just saying he has the power to do it. You know, because somebody on here is going to say, no, now you think HH is good. No. Because he's president, he has those instruments. He has those tools. He can do that because he's president. When that happens, all you do is say, thank you. It is not for the opposition now to say, no, we pressured the HH. He was pressured. He knew what was coming. Tunafaka pressure. Tunafaka pressure. You didn't do anything. The president saw the situation for what it was. He made an informed, balanced decision, and he let him go. Because he has the power to do that as president, commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Nefiashal. So, as the opposition, namely PF and these cohorts, it is not for you now to start showboating. No, tunafaka pressure. HH has succumbed to our pressure. He hasn't succumbed to diddly squat. He hasn't. And guys, side note, nothing had GBM gone. Okay, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying I wanted him to go, because God forbid, that is not what I'm saying. Look, let me give you context. You and I and everybody, in 100 years, none of us are going to be here. Okay? To give you context. Because I know some of you, so you're wishing someone death. No, death is going to come regardless. Death knocks on the doorstep of every single person. When death smiles at you, all you can do, honey, is smile back. That's all you can do. There's nothing you can do about it. Every last one of us are going to die. We're leaving. This world is not my home. I'm just passing through. Now, here's the thing. Had GBM gone, some of you seem to think that something cataclysmic would have happened to this country. Let me be the first one to tell you, that's not true. No single person in this country is bigger than Zambia. You must understand that. Pafuabantu pashalabantu. People die, other people live on, and eventually they die. When HH was in prison for more than 100 days, did the world stop rotating on its axis? When HH was in prison for more than 100 days, did the sun stop coming up early in the morning? No. Life goes on. That's what we do. We survive. We are a species that survives. We have this, God has somehow put it in our hearts to pick up the broken pieces, no matter how devastating it is, to sort of forge ahead, to move forward. That wasn't intentional. No pun intended. Okay, that just came out. Okay? Let's just be clear. All right? That's how he rolls. So, far be it from you, me, or anybody else to think that no, had the GBM gone, no. GBM's going to go, we're going to go, I'm going to go one day. You that are watching this, you're not going to be here in 100 years. Why? Because this world is not our home. We're just passing through. All right. All righty. And I'm wishing all the best to our GBM. I'm wishing him love and serenity. I wish him good health for the rest of it. Since he's in the final chapters of his life, I'm wishing him well. You know, I'm in the same position that he's in. I'm above 50 years old, so I'm in the last few chapters of my life, and I'm wishing him well. You know, I really am. And let's be thankful for that. There's something else I want to talk to you about. Oh, Tonse Alliance and the Hari Kalaba. Hari Kalaba chipitamu. I remember I'm a youth muli ba Hari Kalaba's party, but if I to Hari Kalaba for me. I've been a Maxwell Chongo. I didn't know, but I theater to the fire Kalaba. You know, poor Harry. Honestly, really, I think Harry has sort of gone through it. He's gone through the gamut. Every time he goes to some political party, they always want to kick him out. What's up with that? Somebody please explain it to me in the comments. Go ahead and type it. Why the heck is Harry always hounded out? Tell me in the comments. Because here it is, Maxwell Chongo has just sort of written some scathing article about how the youth don't want Harry Kalaba. In politics, do you know how easy it is to mobilize a bunch of people that can chant and scream, all you do is just pay them a couple of bucks, 25, 50 bucks, and get about 100 youth and say, kupunda tiba hari tatureba fwaya manfa ama 50 ya ni fuma youth fya ture mukusoka bahari kwisoko kumiyaba ngempia naba tupera ama 50 kwa chapa shiri kwi hapa okay today. That's all it takes in Zambia. Don't follow these people. Those are hired guns. I just feel terrible for Harry that everywhere he goes, they want to kick him out. I feel terrible. I do. All right. The last thing, Socialist Party. Fred Membe has sort of joined hands with Tonse Alliance. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? Is there a more stranger union than this? First of all, the average Zambian doesn't even know what the hell socialism is. Okay, let's just put it out there. Now, you go into City Market and say to the average Zambian, what is this? Socialism, change. Socialism. Ule njipushe pali socialism. Ubunga kunga ndatakuri. Ule njipushe pali socialism. Transport panoshikwete. What is the socialism? My point is the average Zambian doesn't even know what the hell that is. Okay? So I've always found it strange that the quintessential, the purest form of a capitalist who is Fred Membe. Fred Membe is the physical embodiment. He is the very personification of capitalism. How the hell he decided one day to wake up and name some party and call it the Socialist Party is beyond me. He doesn't have a socialist bone in his body. He is the quintessential, purest form of capitalism. That's Fred. For you. All right. So the deal is apparently Fred and Tonse Alliance have sort of, they've held hands and they're singing Kumbaya. What a waste of time. Bunch of jokers. Bunch of jokers is what you guys are. Seriously. All right, I gotta go home. I'm late. It's 8:25. My wife is furious. Furious. Huh? How the hell you come home? It's gonna take me 35, 40 minutes to get home. But here's the thing. At this time of night, when I drive through town, there's no traffic. No traffic at all. If I leave the office at 5 o'clock on the dot, which is what my wife wants me to do, if I leave at 5 o'clock on the dot, do you know how many hours I have to be stuck in that god-awful horror traffic? It's 2 hours, mate. I'm not sitting in traffic for 2 hours. I'm not doing that. Don't tell my wife I said that. All right, I gotta go. Bye. 那么大几的心嘛。